If you're a heat and air technician or even a salesperson, what are some red flags when it comes to switching jobs and office politics? And why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. I'm coming live from Sacramento. All right, we're on video number 6, sign language number 6. And let's talk about office politics. Complex companies breed complex offices. So if you go to work for a company, it's got a whole bunch of complexity and there's other things that really don't bother you, but you meet with the office and there's all sorts of games being played inside of the office, or there's weird situations, chances are good at some point it's going to roll back on you. And so I'm going to give you a couple of examples. You go to work for a company and there's always, if you get leads from the company, there's always the fear that games are being played. There's always the fear that, like, hey, somebody's getting treated better than others. Does it happen? Freaking absolutely. Should it happen? No. Okay. So you go to the manager and you're like, hey, I think there's some shenanigans going on. And the manager's like, no, there's not. Well, come to find out, the people who are doing dispatch are getting favors from the salespeople. Could be money, could be trips, could be gift cards, who knows, right? And management just doesn't believe that it's happening, but it's going down. Okay, that's one weird situation. Another weird situation is one department hates the other. And this happens a lot, that because something happened 18 months ago, somebody said something off the cuff, this department doesn't like this department, and this department doesn't like this department, and then the department over here doesn't get along with the department back here. You know what? Here's what you're going to run into. It is not going to be an enjoyable experience for you because you're constantly navigating who doesn't get along with who and who's fighting who. And you're like, hey, Scott, what does that got to do with me and my sales? Let me tell you. At some point, it's going to catch up to you, your job, and your commission, because each one of those sides wants you to pick a team. Each one of those sides wants to call you and say, hey, did you hear about XYZ? And then you hear from the other side, like, hey, did you hear about 1, 2, 3? And it is not an enjoyable experience. It's not a process that you want to live through. It's not something that you want to do. And this right here is why you should join my email publication. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not YouTube channel. Just go there, drop in your name, your email address, your phone number, probably. It'll be fun. So weird situations in the office may be how meetings are ran, right? You may have to sit through some weird meetings. You may have to sit through meetings. You're like, why am I here? And endless meetings is like weird situations. Endless meetings. If you're in a meeting, you're not closing a deal. Like, don't get me wrong. There's sales meetings, there's training, they're necessary functions, but they shouldn't really last 1 minute longer than they need to. From a sales standpoint, from a management standpoint, like the longer you have salespeople in a room not making deals, the more that they're like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Why are we here? Now, I will tell you, in California, once again, not an attorney, doctor, therapist, or marriage counselor, there's a certain amount of time that you can be in a meeting and not get paid. And then as soon as you're over that, you're supposed to get paid. But sometimes you're held in these weird situations and these weird dynamics happen, and there might be a couple of different managers that come in that don't get along with each other, and then you get to see the weirdness of what's going on, and the whole team is not together. Well, the reason this becomes a problem for you is because at some point it's going to spill back on you. At some point it's going to cost you money. At some point it's going to be a struggle. And if you see this early on, like if it's not going to get fixed, which it probably won't, if it was me, I would go find something different to do. If it was me, there's plenty of really good companies that don't have this. And so like these red flags can become bigger if you go looking for them. But if they're happening naturally, oh my goodness. Look for a way to find somewhere else to work. Look for a way to do something different. But pay attention. If there's weird situations in the office or weird meetings that you got to attend, call it good, right? Early on in my career, I went to go work for a company and they're like, hey, Scott, we get together in the morning, we pray together. I'm like, that's cool. I don't want to be involved with it. Like, religion to me is personal. Like, I don't need to come pray with you in the mornings, and I'm not going to. And the guy said, well, if you don't want to do that, then don't work here. And I said, probably a good idea. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. Like, this was like 2005, 2006, right? I'm not going to, because it was strange and it's unusual. And so weird meetings could be a lot of different ways, could go a lot of sidewaysness. I don't know. But if it's office politics, weird meetings, you don't want to be there. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.